Hello, hola. This is Kaipacho with the weekly Pele report for December 14th, 2016. Still feeling the effects of that full moon in Gemini with that sun up there in Sagittarius. Yeah, and then she's gonna, move into Cancer on Friday. And in that Cancer, she's gonna be opposing Pluto, squaring Jupiter, squaring Uranus. I'm going to talk about that. Opposing Mercury, because Mercury is coming up to that Pluto. Mercury's coming in with a Pluto-Mercury conjunction. And then Mercury stations right there next to Pluto. Bonk. And says, oh, I think I'll turn around and go back to Saturn. I forgot to get a little something. So it's going to turn around for 3 weeks, okay? And it's going to go back to Saturn and then come back again. So there's this connection between, and I can talk about it a little bit, okay, between now and January 28th. Yeah, as this Mercury goes back to Saturn, it's time to get serious. This is kind of a serious, deep time. I'm going to talk more about Mercury conjunct Pluto, because that's what's happening now. All right, but I'm struck by the beauty of this place. The sun hits the galactic center on Saturday, and on Monday, yeah, this weekend is about Mars leaving Aquarius, going into Pisces at the same time that Mercury goes retrograde. And the moon is moved through Cancer into Leo, our personal signs. Yeah. Up into Virgo, up into Libra. Through this whole time, and for weeks around this time, Saturn is square to Cheiron. This brings in a whole different dimension that I want to bring to you today. And I'm just coming up to the peak here to give you one last shot, okay, of the coastline going out to the infinite sea and coming back to Copenhagen. Most beautiful, beautiful island. There's a 360 for you. Yeah, quite a spot here. Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to make this one short and sweet because, for some reason my camera didn't charge up last night. And I don't know how much batteries I've got left. I hope you can see the coastline back there. What do I want to talk about today? I want to talk about obsessive compulsive speech patterns, obsessive compulsive thinking, obsessive compulsive control issues. Okay, this is all what we're going to be dealing with here. Mercury, Pluto coming through Capricorn is that, I want it to happen my way. I want to get my way. I want control. I call it the Hitler aspect, Mercury, Pluto. Okay, it's forceful communication. It's the root chakra Kundalini combined with the throat chakra Mercury that is just like ready to, rip roar like a German tank and roll over anybody, anything in its way to get its way. And compounded with Saturn and Sagittarius, which can be like super freaking judgmental, and the know-it-all, and the just like, yeah, this is boo, 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 boo. And then Mars in the tail end of Aquarius, okay, another know-it-all, with Venus in Aquarius, another know-it-all. We got a lot of, we got these Trump figures out there. There's a whole bunch of know-it-alls. Opposed by the moon, right? The moon's down here in Gemini, the student. Okay, well, let's be curious and let's talk and debate about it and, check out this and check out that, and then it moves into Cancer. Oh, I'm kind of sensitive today. I don't feel like talking so much, I'm getting a lot of feelings and emotions, and then it goes into Leo, and Leo's like, well, I've got to be right. But I'd rather be out playing and goofing around and creating something, and moving in my own personal space, okay, than, you know, dealing with all these business meetings and, you know, big deals and big questions and big answers and big money and big blah, 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 blah. You know, Mercury's commerce, okay, Pluto's big, and Pluto's also transformation. So yeah, there can be some economic news. There can be some announcements, you know, that come up and, you know, like rattle your cage, because, you know, that Cancer Capricorn axis has to do with security, and it can be kind of an insecure time. So it's kind of a tricky, you know, it's kind of a little bit of a tricky dilemma happening. And what is really important to me that I want to talk about is Saturn square Cheiron, because Cheiron puts this other twist, okay, that it's about healing. Okay, and the square to this Cheiron, you know, it's like Cheiron is over here in Pisces, wanting to heal the wound of feeling abandoned by God, and squaring Saturn in Sagittarius, which is like, this is the way, the one way. Here's the commandments, here's the Tora, here's the rules, here's the laws. If you want to access God or Nirvana or Samadhi, you've got to you know, and you should be ashamed of yourself if you did that, or guilty about that, and here's Cheiron. Compassionate, loving, forgiveness, opening of the heart, of the magnetic field. So there's this kind of a square going on, and you know, as you can see in the mantra today, it's between the head and the heart. This Mercury Pluto is head. You know, Saturn in Sag is like, Saturn kind of constricts. Sagittarius is my right brain intuition. So we're kind of like constricting our right brain intuition. You know, we're looking at, you know, the practical Capricorn, you know, earthly, you know, spreadsheets and stuff. And this is not the way to heal our heart, to heal our planet, to heal our relationships, which is what Jupiter and Libra is all about. It's coming to the negotiation, coming to the table, coming to compromise, coming to, you know, and this, you know, this Pluto Mercury is squaring Jupiter. You know, Jupiter in Libra wants peace and balance and justice and fairness for everybody. And, you know, this head thing, so this is, you know, all I'm saying, I'm just, you know, throwing up the flag here. You know, be aware, be cautious, that the tendency can be, okay, to get stuck in old thought patterns, in old attitudes, in old beliefs, okay, that there's not enough, or there's scarcity, or, you know, people with money are bad, or, you know, there's all kinds. You know, money is the root of all evil. We've got all these attitudes. And subconscious, Pluto wants to bring up from our unconscious depths some of our deeper attitudes so that we can change those attitudes. And ultimately, Saturn in Sagittarius can help us mature our attitudes so that we become better chiefs, knights of the round table. Yes, the kingly, you know, big-hearted, lion-hearted King Richard or whatever, you know. It's like, so just get to the mantra, because the mantra says it all, and that's all that it really is about. I'm tired of all the bullshit. I want what's true and real. So rather than getting stuck in my head, I expand my magnetic field. You know, scientists have now discovered, okay, speaking of the mind and the intellect and everything, scientists have discovered, right, that the magnetic field of the heart is actually stronger and bigger than the magnetic field of the head. It's like, whoa, this is powerful. Yogi Bhajan talks about, you know, he talks about how in the future, all knowledge and all therapies will become absolutely obsolete. People need today a self-exalted experience. It's one of my favorites, man. A self-exalted experience when you are in, okay, when you do your yoga, when you raise your kundalini, when you do your meditations, when you go jumping off a cliff into that ocean right there, You know, I mean, this is, right, fun, joy, love, expansion of that magnetic field. That's healing. That's how we heal the planet. That's how we heal each other, is by opening our hearts, expanding our hearts. It's not about analyzing, processing, figuring, calculating, thinking, debating, winning the arguments, blah, 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 blah. It's not about being right. Saturn and Sag can get stuck on being right. I've got to be right. Pfft. Give it up, man. That's not what it's about. It's about love. It's about unity. It's about healing. So, you know, when you get into these, you know, possible arguments or debates or, you know, people trying to push their way or this or that or the other thing, I mean, it's like, first of all, check out who you're hanging around with. Who are you hanging around with that's talking in a way or is all, you know, obsessed with blah, 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 blah kind of stuff that's bullshit? Come on. Get out of there, man. If you're in the wrong circles, okay, you know, and people are bringing you down and they're all trapped in their, you know, negative attitudes and shit, get out of there. That's Mars in Aquarius moving into Pisces. Mars says, you know what? Ow! Off into the great unknown, and Venus says, I love, in Aquarius, the unknown, the unfamiliar. So, skedaddle, baby. Find yourself some new friends. Find yourself a new partner that's going to talk about heart, love, unity, permaculture, healing the planet, healing the waters. Yeah, it has something positive to say. Creative. The moon's moving through Cancer and Leo. Create something. Instead of, you know, complaining about what is, create something different. Doing. Golly. Anyway, what the heck, man? Chill out. Let's see. Let's go for it again. I'm tired of all the bullshit. I want what's true and real. So rather than getting stuck in my head, I expand my magnetic heart field. Yeah! Namaste. Aloha. Have a good time.